People, how you doing? This is Nate Raymond in Japan, and you got to understand this is your podcast. This is the Japan Exchange. This is what we call direct marketing. And when it comes to all this blockchain, all this automation, what we need to focus on is your user experience. And I tell you, a hallmark of this era is not what you know, but who you know. And you know me. Anybody who's watching this, chances are you know me because I'm sharing it with you. And only people I know are getting this. So it's all about me and our relationship. And that is what we focus on. And you can be rich. And I'll tell you why. Because we're in an attention economy. And your attention is not just what you're focusing on now, but what you've continued to focus on up until this point, because a lot is going on around us, okay? But we only notice 1% of what's going on. So your point of view, and whether or not you focus on the good or the bad, or whatever it is you're focusing on, does create reality. And the human is the highest technology. And to get the highest level, we're using what's called a torus field. Okay. And your torus field in and of itself is what it is. But the point is, coming together, our torus fields generate enough to create. And we do this by creating children, getting married. But creating children and getting married is one aspect of creation. Take that as an example of what's necessary. But for you and I to create, we're not creating a person. We're creating an idea and a collaboration. And this creates an automation. So that's what we do. What we do is something that we set it and forget it. And we've heard this from other things, but it's time to apply everything you've ever known into this. But look, I make it so easy. That's what the Japan Exchange is. How many times, look, you know me, I'm in Japan. Why do you think I'm here? I didn't always know why I'm here, but there's a knowing, there's a faith in the universe. And that's what you're going to need if we collaborate, because what other people are doing isn't putting a faith in the universe. People are putting a faith in money. And this is obvious, okay? So no matter what someone tells you what their religion is, okay, you know from their actions what their religion is. And I'm not talking about their express domination. See, there's a way that people say and there's a way that people do. And if you want to cut through the BS, and the reason why is because we're teachers, we're helpers, we're healers. If you want to heal somebody, you have to ask them if they'd be willing to give up what made them sick in the first place. And with us, it's always, again, recognize that, of course, consciously, they're going to say yes, but sometimes their actions and their words, you want to know what they do. And if you really know what it is we are creatures of habit. We're going to keep going with the pattern we know. And so we're talking about being an ethical hacker as a proactive approach. I mean, you think of like the highest paid consultant. Do you think that when someone comes to them with their problems or asks for them to do something, no, they are going to give them not what the person asks them for, but what they need. And to give someone what they need, they don't know what they need. So there's a boldness, a confidence that you have to develop, and you will develop that with me to apply to anyone you meet, knowing you have the solution they need, because we create the ecosystem. A whole city, a town. That is what someone is just unconsciously, no choice but to adhere to local custom, local law, local pattern, okay? Local pattern that if you don't act a certain way, you're not going to get arrested. But if you came to Japan, who knows? If you go to Saudi Arabia, who knows? How about a little preventative medicine? No matter where you go, the carpet is rolled out in front of you. And that's what we offer you in the Japan Exchange. My name is Nathan Raymond. Let's find out about this. Look, my name is Nathan Raymond, okay? I'm from New York, all right? But at a young age, I went to Japan because there was a scholarship. So during that time, there was extra money to throw around. We had opportunities like that. But today, the younger generation, us, you and I, maybe we're not getting these things because the funds are low. But here's how we generate funds. Look, I want you to know that there's never been a company richer than Facebook. And so we need to take the Facebook model because even though Facebook is rich, okay, there's always more money. The thing about it is marketing. So you and I right now in this direct exchange, it has the power to take over marketing because marketing is unconscious. What do you think these marketing companies are doing? They're in a room thinking about you, how to get you, and they're effective because you don't know. But when you and I get our flow and we make it like dominoes, that's when nobody can mess with us. So we need to elevate society. My connection between Japan and America provides that connection to society. Now, look, I could go on about this. This is about just, qualifying myself and who I am, what I'm doing. But what I really can do for you right now is take you through a little bit of me attempting to handle this Zoom call. And now that I got my screen share and we're getting up on here, I've brought up a few things that we could see right away. Internet speed is not what I'm liking here, but hey, that's what you got to go with sometimes. So look, I want to tell you about this way. Okay, now look, I'm in Japan because they've spent money trying to learn about Americans. But as an American coming here, I've learned that we need to learn from them. And they're willing to be a partner because they have a way that they have so many companies. Look, like Japan or not, they have taken a small country and their main accomplishment was they turned it into the land of companies. They hire 97% of their population with companies of 50 or more, and they're scattered out like, like I'm saying, they're scattered out like samurai. And it has to do with something called Sampo Yoshi. Now, Sampo Yoshi is a three-way satisfaction. Look, we have all these Japanese companies and they're ready to support us, but they want to support us in a global endeavor. So all of you collaborating me, we create a global endeavor. I mean, you see this guy is a chairman out of Nagano Prefecture, and he's just dedicated his life to gathering these companies. But when it comes to you and I think we are going to have to, meet them in the middle, if you know what I mean. And that's what our marketing is about. So look, I created these ways for people. Now I'm using this system. It's called DashNext. And it is a blockchain that if you join, that we're gonna be linked. And I'm set to get 1 million license. I'm already gonna be a millionaire. Now, do you want to get some of this? But I'm not a millionaire yet. And the reason why is because our value of money is different. We have a currency, okay? But the point is I have 1 million licenses, which means that if you join me, I can launch your personal brand, but we need to don't need to launch you right away. Off this call, you'll get the information of how to get on this system. When you hit the call to action button, okay, it's going to take you to learn about this system. Now, my internet is really slow at the moment, So no matter what I do, things are getting messed up. But this guy talks about it. His name is Mario. You're going to learn about the stakeholder system. This system is going to change us. It's a one-time fee of $27. And when you do that, then you and I have an e-commerce store. You have your platform. This is going to do so much. AI is hooked up. So you're going to be a marketer through this system, okay? However, then I have something else I developed, and this is called the Japan Exchange, okay? It's an app. It's on something called the Passion app. And this is taking a while because I have some technologies to make things load up faster. But when you get on this system, you're going to see it's my app. It is our video game where we can launch NFTs. It's your bank of the future. It's your opportunity connecting to all of Japan, and we get the highest return on investment. People, I really got to take you through this app because when you go through it at first, you don't understand it. But we get into an energy algorithm. We get the online marketing. We're going to have the community strategy. It's just got everything you need on it because we're also joining as user experience, okay? We create the user experience. I'm a user experience designer, platform creator. And we have these way of like Japanese cities all have their plan, but none of them have the plan that I created because they're getting tax money. Mine doesn't cost tax money. That means if I demonstrate a better plan without tax money, that means that our situation and you and I communicating doesn't cost money. So we do, while they're spending money, we're not spending money, and we are hosting the India startups. We are getting in quantum entanglement. This is amazing, right? This is the hero's journey, okay, that you're taking where we're combining our value. Look at these different economies and the values they have, okay? And we create these new community-based startups. And if you connect to me, we're connected to Nagoya and you're connected to Nanjing, all these different countries that we're connected to. And it happens to me sometimes that I'll want to see something and the internet will act up. But I was just perfect to know when you download this, you're going to see my images. School doesn't teach you how to sell, how to think, how to negotiate, how to face failure, how to manage time. But all these things we teach you, right? Because in the community, we are connected to justice, health, spirituality, education, environment, all these. School doesn't teach you how to find your passion, how to handle money, how to make an impact. So we are the digital transformation of schools. This is an incubator. This is an accelerator. And here you have Nathan Raymond with the authentic presence you need to get your Japan collection, who is a foreigner, but I have kids, I am married. We're also governing relations, arts, economics, science, education, justice. This is the Japan Exchange, people, and you don't even know this blockchain, this thing that we're doing. It makes you work harder. The cost is free because we're peer-to-peer, cutting out the middlemen who charge us money. But we don't need the money if we connect directly, but you need to connect to the right person, who is me. And, let me guide you through this process. My soundtrack went out. Look, people, this is a digital nomad boot camp. This is, your work, your skills, your dreams. These we integrate. And, I've had this app for a while, but now that I'm making this podcast, finally, people are going to get, this introduction you need first. So look, people, get custom branding and communication with your consulting base and your interest, skills, and dream. Get access to community of ambassadors who can collaborate with an excess 12 revenue streams, and establish your company and use it to empower your community through exchange, welcoming digital nomads to get training through internships, where you're going to be the one who's the ambassador as a member of the Japan Exchange. So just start your own venture. Look at this image I got, Hattori Hanzo. He's the sword maker. But, for us, we need weapons. And our culture is this, theory and practice, interactive sessions, innovation leadership. And that's our global collaboration. So I've been accumulating all this stuff for a long time. finally it's time to use it with you. And look, okay, I want you to see this has already happened in Japan, because look, we have these trips, which is Sampo Yoshi, where you are welcome to be one of these people who are joining this. And this is what we're looking for, making communities like this. But based on this, we have what becomes the direct marketing that then businesses and governments then use. So we put the people first. We're human-centered. And just like this place is offering experiences, see, this is what they offer. And they have people joining, and this is similar. It comes from Chubu Central Airport, but they're like there. But the area I come from is different than what they're showing. I am Nagoya. I'm north of it in Gifu. And we are where a lot of dense area is, a lot of manufacturing companies are. So unlike what they're showing, we have something which they can't buy, because I've got the collaboration with the companies. And during this time, our connection is the direct marketing system that these schools need. So I want you to know that also what I'm working with, okay, has to do with this school, okay? And this is a school out of Pakistan. And look, I understand if you've never heard of collaborating with people from Pakistan, this is kind of strange, right? We're not used to this culture. I understand. But to them, this is normal stuff. And I am used to being with them. So I want to open your mind, okay? I want to introduce you to this group of podcasters. And what they're ready to do is they're ready to be your digital army. And that's going to mean you don't have to master these digital systems. I've got people who are masters of digital systems, and they're waiting to podcast with you. All we need to do is interview you. Let's just do that. And while we interview you, we create reality. We take the things you're saying, we listen, we suggest ways to get started, and that's all it takes for me to then engineer your digital collaboration so that now you just be yourself. You wake up in the morning, you check your phone, and when you check your phone, you know your day's schedule and who you're meeting. And how those people you're meeting are gonna people that, they're gonna make up the podcasts or the content that we watch and everybody loves. So, because it's authentic. Now, look, believe it or not, there is a podcast you can hear, How to Create a Startup in Japan, with Patrick McKenzie on this podcast called Disrupting Japan. As a matter of fact, I came to Japan with this guy, and now he's doing this, but he created this podcast, and I'm doing what he's doing too, but what I'm doing is different. But Disrupting Japan, you can hear about it. And he talks about software as a service. I'm actually a kind of next generation from him. And I'd love to talk to him about what we're doing so he can create the updated software that utilizes our collaboration. And you'll see there are startups in Gifu, startups in Nagoya. They're all our customers. I want to show you how recently in Japan, they had a speech contest. And all these students, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 students. I'm going to offer these 9 students a scholarship. The scholarship is coming from, if they meet the students on my Rihan school that I showed before, and if they meet them, then simply they create a startup. They're able to share information on Facebook that doesn't cost any money. And when we're using our app and our tools, this becomes eventually the direct marketing system. So I want you to recognize what it takes for me to bring this to you. And what it takes for me is something that's called, we call it Sampo Yoshi, okay? And really quick, I'm just going to show you what it is. It's good for the seller, good for the buyer, good for society. And if we do this, it's going to allow us to create these startups in our town that actually are already funded by Japan because we're just connecting to their companies, their startups. For you to start your company is difficult. For you to join an already started startup and make it more profitable is easier. And you can do that with me. Why work with Japan? They've got this information you can see, which all has to do with, the fact that they have a lot of money and they know how to make companies. And I think we need that right now. And I offered this as a way to start this. And just to let you know that if we do this, this is something called a Genesis block. And the Genesis block of me introducing the Rihan students and me introducing the Japanese people, and that speed meeting event is the Genesis block that once we do that is going to turn into all the speed meeting events we need. It's going to be a chain reaction. So I'm making this also to show to Rihan school students, also to show my Japanese school students. And you can just recognize, right, that, look, understand this now. If we want to have an easy life in the future, we have to do some hard decisions right now. And your hard decision is, will you trust me? Will you just focus on what I'm saying? Or are we going to make these easy decisions that create actually a hard life before we get to the easy life? And I'm saying right now, hindsight's 2020. Will you get on a speed meeting event? Will you do a podcast? These are the questions that if we just do it, they could be hard decisions. For some of you, it's a no-brainer. You know me. You know who I am. I don't judge. I am a positive person. When you are in this Genesis, all my positive outlook goes into you too. And that we automate, and you get the patterns of that, then the patterns of what you're doing. Look, what you're doing is just what you want to do. But I've at least gathered all this people up to this point, which are people, dreams, and have to do with Japan, India, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia. I have a meeting with Morocco. Somebody who I lived in Spain. I went to England for a short time. I'm from New York. And me with the Japan, India, New York connection. This is a digital Silk Road that all countries, when you join, you contribute what it is you have onto what it is we need. And so people, look, I'm just saying, oh, don't forget the Philippines. My friend Jeremiah, he is on board with this. And this comes back from people when I talk to you. Remember your life, people you met, situations. All this now comes to this time where we need it the most. And if you have money, if you're rich, you're not going to be motivated for this. But I'm telling you that there's a lot of people out there who just aren't rich. And the rules are different because every online teacher asking you if you want to learn how to make money, you first need to pay money. And these teachers are content with you borrowing, getting in debt with people, breaking relationships at families. I'm saying none of that is necessary. Step up, level up our communication, our concentration, our collaboration. And this is motivation that you can hear what I'm saying. And as you see, the music affects me. Let me prove that as a point that you affect me. And so, come on, people. I'm just saying that we're showing you all this value, and a lot of thought was put into what we can do. And I'm just going to take this podcast until the end, because I know in the end that the longer you listen, the longer that you'll understand. And anybody in USA, let's compare the value of how you get this much for this much money and this much for this much money. And look, see, for America, you know, just different payment systems. We can have these empty houses in Japan. We can populate Japanese cities, but we could do it in a way that we already know how to collaborate with Japanese people and thus add value to the country. And how much cheaper in Japan? Look, Roanoke, this much, and in Japan, this much. And where I live, you could get them even cheaper, because if you're willing to use a house that's already built, you can get it cheap. But if, Japanese, usually they make new houses. But look, see, this is our decentralized autonomous organization that you're joining with Nate Raymond and the Japan Exchange. And I already said with the Sampo Yoshi and the speech contest people. And I'm calling them so you don't have to. And this much money we stand to gain. Okay. And look, this is everything that I've had to do as a marketer, just so you know: brand positioning, strategic plan, business results, everything a marketer must do: organization and culture, the consumer experience, the purchase moment, the product innovation, the brand story, brand positioning, all that's taken care of. But let's talk about the purchase moment. This is your purchase moment. But look, I'm just asking you to buy me, as in, will you focus on me off the different things you could focus on? Because what I'm having you focus on has value. Do you believe that? After you watch this podcast, can you see me as credible? Because I'm not like other people saying, look, I've got the money. Because look, social media is likes, it's subscribers, it's followers. I don't even have the likes, subscribers, and followers. But look, don't judge me by other people. Ours is the personal network. It's not going to have 1 million followers. We don't want 1 million followers, because as you see, we're the ones that go in a city and everybody is just dancing to our tune. That's called an information node in blockchain. So we're creating the node of your location that turns your location into an antenna. And this antenna emits a signal that the other antennas of Japan Exchange and other cities are emitting. It is the secret you don't know about, because anybody who's got a short attention span, they're not watching me up to this point. Everybody else who's watching me, they gave up. Oh, no, sorry, who's not going to be a part of this, they gave up a long time ago. But you and I are different. And if you can focus, and maybe you've never focused before, actually, and maybe that's the prevalence of ADD, because we live in a society with very small sound bites. Do you think that's an accident, or do you think that it's made that way? Because if we keep people distracted, they cannot focus, and focus is what it takes. I have a directed focus beam at you. This is quantum entanglement, quantum and healing that you've never experienced before. So I understand if you want to run and it's not what you want. But it's not about what you want. It's about what people need and being a willing volunteer to produce that. So if you're going to ask me something like, who cares about Japan? Well, it's just a place of the world, and we want to connect to every place of the world. So let's study on one country first and accelerate how we get to other countries, because our acceleration depends on the money we have, and we get money when we have a focus, when we have an antenna from Japan that's boop, 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 hitting you, and you're the one receiving it, and you're telling the information to different companies in there, and we have the products they need. We have the technology they need, and we'll share it with them to create profits, and we'll share the profits. We're always sharing, and we don't really need so much excess money. If you want to have your money, that's fine, but we're rich because we're part of a wealthy organization, and you don't need too much money. You just need enough to do what you want. Actually, we don't need money when you join this. You have enough money to do what it's going to take, and that's going to be to support people. That's going to be to travel. You're going to travel to countries. You're going to visit places. Everybody's going to know that you are an ambassador. Everyone who you want to know. But people who don't know you, you're not like a celebrity, because they are in hell. They are suffering. They can't go anywhere. You are a secret agent. You are a soft, quiet force, but you carry a big stick. You are an army, And you don't have to be known, but you're the one who's playing the puppeteer. You're controlling people. And I'm not saying that as an evil way of control, but you're saying left to people's own devices, they're tempted to be evil in a position where it actually, if you're smart, you're not content to just sit back. You want to use your intellect, but the only way to use it to make money at the moment is crime, is scams. There's no way to do it in a way that is legitimate until now, until me. I was scammed by an Indian guy who had the coding skills. And so he just used me to be the mouthpiece, to be the Trojan horse. But it's not a Trojan horse because I had that experience. And now I created the no code system. So no matter who you are, it's just based on you having a good user experience. Consider me like a waiter in a restaurant, but I'm feeding you content. And I want to hear what you want. And I want to feed you enjoyable content that you enjoy and you get to the level. But you have to sit back, relax, and let it happen. Don't get too uppity on it. Don't get so worried and focused on the money that you forget to have fun. That's what I'm saying. That once people are in business mode, they're no fun. And they don't want to be fun because they have it in their mind that business is not fun. Business is serious. However, when it comes to marketing and your personal brand and user experience and what we're offering with people to consult, to develop, to unleash into the world, we are that place where we can embrace the non-seriousness of it because ultimately we need to be the missing element. And that is the quintessential, the ether, the whole collective. This is the group that we offer to you. So look, I'm Nathan Raymond. Before you enter this group, just know that I have my YouTube channel, I have my blockchain, I have the tools you need, the app, and all this is designed for you. All we need to do is have a conversation, do a podcast. Based on that, you're going to know what you need, and you're going to join the speed meeting event. You're going to be prepared for it because you're going to have your YouTube channel made. You're going to have your communication done. You're going to meet 20 people. So you're saying, hi, how are you? Just meet 20 people from Japan and be their English speaking partner. Treat them as an English speaker, an English teacher. Look, I taught English in Japan and we were just college graduates. But I'm creating the next level. You are better than a college graduate as a collaboration partner for me and as a guide in your town that if they travel to visit you, you're going to give them the social pipeline so they can make content, develop their YouTube channel, go back to Japan. Everybody wins. India people coming to Japan, they have 1 year to build their startup. They're coming in Japan with me, connecting to companies, but then I'm taking us to New York. I'm going to be in New York from June to August. And before that, we're having success with the speed meeting event. We're having success when I go to the business networking event. We're going to have a bunch of companies with us. So when I go to New York and I visit my Chamber of Commerce, I'm going to create a group of companies in my town who will have connections with Japanese companies based on the way I'm connecting them, where we are then getting people in society to just join our speed meeting event. And then based on that, we create people who are startups that then we could actually give them funding, but we call it a scholarship because we really do reward you for stepping up and being one of the ambassadors of your community to create the next generation collaboration economy that everyone needs, but not everyone's willing to do. And if you're willing to listen to this for the purpose of speaking with me, to create your personal brand, to join my app, to join my blockchain, so I can get you on a speed meeting event, so I can share information to your location, and we can create an ecosystem in your town. Well, if that's you, then this is it. and it doesn't even cost money to start, right? Because I want you to either want it, or we're going to get the stakeholders in your location, and they're the ones who are going to actually give you the money you need to be your sponsor. Because what we are selling companies is something called digital transformation. We make up the digital transformation that these companies would be willing to pay for, but you don't understand. It doesn't cost money in the beginning. It costs information. And once we get that information, right, there's going to be something that happens. And when you get on my Japan Exchange YouTube channel, one thing you're going to see is I give you a virtual tour of Japan, where once you get on it, like, right, it's loading up. I have two YouTube channels. One is the Japan Exchange YouTube channel, and one is my personal YouTube channel. All of you, I suggest do your personal YouTube channel, and then we'll upload to the Japan YouTube channel. And that's just designed for everybody. But of course, yes, before, there's commercials on mine, and, there's some loading problems, obviously, with all these different tools we're collaborating with. And hey, I'm using a free Zoom account, as you could use too, to do podcasts like this, to do presentations. All right, it's taken a little while. I'm probably messing up this podcast, attempting to try to do that. But instead, let's go back to what I was showing you before, because there is something that I want to show you, which is the 12 categories of business I created, which if you could get, on a call with me and let me do this progress report for you, you'll understand exactly what's taken. Wow, I have so much information here. Oh, this is my Indian bridge company. This guy who is, he's got a bunch of India travelers. But this connection to this Pakistan school is really helpful, actually, because they're the ones who are first on the chopping block, so to say, when it comes to me with a Japan exchange with a Japan, or the country outside Japan. And yeah, I keep looking for the 12 categories of biz. Maybe I'm not going to find it. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I probably can find it. Here we go. Let's see what I got on the files. What can I do? What can I say? Yes, I'm going to be drinking the witch's brew when it comes to all the things that we like to do. Yes, I construe, download. Yes, when it comes to me doing one, I do two things at the same time, but now I'm doing 12 because I'm rocking these bells like Keebler elves. Yes, I'm thinking so quick. Yes, I'm gonna be simplistic, ballistic. Yes, I'm kicking and sticking, and Nate Dogg, I'm gonna be finger licking just like I'm chicken, because you're gonna be something universally embraced when I'm picking up the pace with the bass mace. So look, I just want you to see that, look, we got these 12 categories of business that actually I can do this 12 categories of business from my computer, and I can do ESL class, nonprofits, podcast, university, tech recruitment. Obviously, you could do these things too, but what I want you to know is that I'm not just doing it. I'm going to do a podcast to explain it and share it with you. And eventually, you'll have an AI robot, not just doing it for you, for other people, but for now, you got me. So I'm the AI ambassador of my DAO digital system. And that's basically what I want you to know, because like I said, this is what the DAO is. And, the DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. That's what Bitcoin is. But instead of Bitcoin, we're using my DAO. And just recognize that this is what we call the philosopher's stone of sacred geometry. And I don't want to scare you away with that, but at the same time, the way we, transmute it just has to do with, what do you offer your customer? Who is your target segment? Why does the business generate profit? How is the proposition value created? All these stuff, we're going to work with you so that and just create essentially your development and your ops. So come on, people, this is something that you need. As I told you, right, our intuition is superpower. Now, most people are hijacked by their, left, right. We just got to know what the human is and how we're using it. But more important, these 7 hermetic principles, okay? Mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. As I said, I'm getting to the end just to make sure. Okay, you don't really see that so well, but oh, let's just check it. It's like the law of one. Okay, and then of course we've just got these. Law of polarity. I already said these things. You guys already know. But join me on the hero's journey anyway. And you're called to adventure. And this supernatural aid is the aid that I received, which was indeed supernatural. But instead of the aid I received to do this going to waste, I'm sharing it with you. And you'll have the Threshold Guardian, where you're going beyond with the speed meeting event. You'll have the helper, but I'm here as the mentor. And these, helping you here till you get to the abyss, where now you've had this thing, and you might come to Japan, right? You might come to Japan where you're going to have your transformation, and you'll atone for whatever you go through by the return to your country with the secret elixir. That is the solution for everyone to achieve, because we really do get into the brain and the 12 disciples, because the 12 cranial nerves are the 12 disciples. We take spirituality and religion to a whole point and really unite the left brain and the right brain in this creative expression, but in an academic way, because look, we just know more about what people want. So look, I've talked about this a lot, and I guess, I'm really happy that this Zoom is still going. And I also recognize things like, of course, the hierarchy of needs. And so right now, if you're in survival mode, let me give you security so that you belong and you're important, and this will self-actualize you. See, I've just been collecting all these pictures for so long, and they've created like this new updated version of what you could call a Bible. But instead, we call it spiritual because it is, and it's part of the Japan Exchange, where you're going to be developing your personal brand, living in the present, okay? And, but we also understand books like the Bhagavad Gita, right? Wrong thinking is the only problem in life, and the right knowledge is the ultimate solution to all our problems. Selflessness is the only way to progress and be prosperity. Every act can be an act of prayer, and it is. We renounce the ego individually and rejoice in the bliss of infinity. Connect to the higher conscious daily. Live what you learn. Never give up on yourself. Value your blessings. See divinity all around. Have enough surrender to see the truth as it is. Absorb your mind in the higher. Detach from Maya and attach to drive. Live a lifestyle that matches your vision. Give priority to divinity. Being good is a reward in itself. Choosing the right over the pleasant is a sign of power. Let's go. Let's move to union with God. So this is the Bhagavad Gita. You don't got to read it. You can experience it by joining us. And we go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. How does that sound? Because that's what you're going to need. And you'll see people with fixed mindsets, but you don't be one of them. You be someone with a growth mindset, and you can help you learn mistakes. Now, look, in Japan, when it comes to English, they have a fixed mindset. So that's really what we're helping Japan with. We're changing Japanese to a growth mindset just through the fact that instead of avoiding mistakes, you have to help people learn by making mistakes. But don't look down on Japan. Their way of being has allowed them to be a small country to get to a higher level. So there is a reason they're doing what they're doing. They're not stupid, okay? They're very smart. And me, who's had the growth mindset, well, I'm just a collaboration with Japan, but I'm giving what they don't have. And other growth mindset, you know what? Instead, let you be the communicator of English. Let them be the one backing you up. Tech support. So we need to be leaders for tech to support us, because tech needs support. Oh, tech can't be the face. That's not what they do. But subjects that should be mandatory in school, they're learning through us. Taxes, coding, cooking, insurance, basic home repair, self-defense, survival skills, social etiquette, personal finance, public speaking, card maintenance, stress management. These are the things that we are helping people to learn about. So, or even automate. And I'm telling you, we just receive these crazy types of things that happen. We activate. And to activate on the individual level, when you realize that's why society is the way that it is, because they've actually made that shape in our different institutions, but you really aren't much inside of you. There's a lot of empty space in you. So there is a lot in which we inhabit, which when we embrace different cultural points, we live in a sort of oneness. Now, are you a good leader? 5 qualities of a good leader. Defining leadership, okay? Goal-oriented, confident, knowledgeable and curious, efficient, adapts to change easily. Now, look, anybody can be a good leader, but you just need to be part of the right group. So join my group, because that's what we're doing as a Japan Exchange. Oh man, this is amazing. So look, this is also, how we joins Japanese people and India people and done the legwork. We're creating the patterns. And people, this is just amazing stuff. So look, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm going on here a lot, but we're warriors, okay? And I want you to be a warrior with me. Make sure we're doing the right things. We're gonna get this company, Poke Talk, to sponsor us. This is technology that you can hold it and translate our conversations. So don't worry if you don't speak Japanese. This is the Japan Exchange, Nate Raymond. You're gonna go from Plato's Cave into seeing how the world is not the way you thought it was. And that's what we do. We're going for that funding in Pittsburgh. And all right, people, look, we're using NFTs. We're going to be sharing things. We've got art from Japan. We turn into NFTs to share with people as gifts. When you give people a gift, they really appreciate it. And look, Japan is already using these, they're set to cut costs with their type of AI, but you and I have to know, all right, this is the Kaizen principles. So I gotta imagine at this point, my time ran out on Zoom and I'm just talking to nobody, or am I talking to someone? And anyway, so I guess for the sake of this conversation, I'll just shut this down for now, because I think we're done, right? And yeah, must be. Okay, right? Are we still recording? I would love it if we are. Yeah, we are still recording. All right, I'm so sorry. Sometimes I just, maybe I should have shut it down a while ago. But here we go. Let's just share a little more, because I'm an animal like that. Okay. So, yeah, again, I told you they were user designer, user experience, right? This also has to do with the global economy, right? And combining our value in our next system. Look at these leadership styles around the world, right? France, Sweden, Indonesia. Okay, come on, people. This is what we are really getting part of when it comes to expanding our awareness. We're going to do whatever it takes to survive. And whatever's in our arsenal of potential, we're going to exercise. So again, I think you know what I'm saying when it comes to us, using our collaboration to collaborate together. Okay, people, I will just still, I'll quit while I'm ahead when it comes to this. Thank you very much. This is Nathan Raymond of the Japan Exchange. It was a pleasure speaking to you all. I really hope we speak more based on this. You want to join my app, you want to join my blockchain, you want to get ready so when we do a speed meeting event, which we're going to do by getting a Facebook ad targeted to your university, and people are going to contact you to get on a speed meeting event. When people from your location come to Japan, you're going to accompany them. That's going to be helping you travel for free. And that'll be your job as a digital nomad. So know what I'm doing. That's why I'm in Japan. I'm not going to stop until I get the results I need. But now the time is at hand. And we can all be successful, all prosper. Okay? Believe that. Nate Raymond in Japan. If you're watching this, connect to me. The channels, you can. And we're going to love it, people. All right? So, peace. Take it easy. Yeah. All right. Let's just do it.